everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to Tailor-Made Cards for You. Well, it's the beginning of the month, and that means it's time for another card for my 12 Months of Graphic 45 series. Now, since it is the month of August, we will be creating a card that has the sentiment using the month August. And I'm going to be pairing it up with a couple of different paper stacks. The first paper stack, which has all of the ephemera in the month, is from A Time to Flourish. And then the second piece is from another set, which I will also list in the bottom at the end with my credits. I just don't remember what it's called offhand. Now, the design that I chose for this card was very intentional. I wanted to show you how pretty you can create a card just using pieces or portions of your ephemera. As you can see, these pieces that I'm showing you were actually rectangular, but I just am focusing on part of the image. And by using a circle die cut, you can easily cut out portions of your ephemera to create a beautiful card. Now, I know some of you are probably cringing and thinking, oh my gosh, how can you cut up this beautiful ephemera? But you have to remember, you're going for the end result. You're not looking at what you're cutting up. Think about what you're creating. Don't be afraid to think outside of the box when you're working with some of your paper. Now, what I would recommend when you are cutting up some of your pretty ephemera, you may want to have a design in mind or a layout that you've already thought through. Because once you've cut this circle off of your paper, you're not going to be able to go back and fix it. So with that, I knew that I wanted to do different size circles, and I knew that I wanted to layer it. So I really thought out my design before I actually started cutting up my paper. Now, because I wanted my focal point to be the actual paper and the design of some of the ephemera, I did decide to mat my paper as well as my circle ephemera with some black cardstock. And you're going to find if you actually do use this technique where you're cutting pieces of your ephemera, you're going to want to have some sort of dark matting, so that way your image does stand out and doesn't get lost if you are placing them close together on the actual card. Now, one of the things that I really love about Graphic 45 is that all of their paper stacks match. So you can mix and match different designs using different papers from different stacks, but you could also mix and match some of the ephemera. And as I showed you in the beginning of the video, not only do you get bands, but you get rectangular images. You also get some nice tags. Sometimes they have postage stamps as well. So there's a lot that you can do with your cards when you're working with Graphic 45. And one thing that I always say in my videos is the paper makes up the card. I know that I have a design typically and some techniques that I want to show you, but truly the beautiful paper that Graphic 45 creates is what makes your card so beautiful. And I honestly believe that I don't think anybody could make an ugly card using Graphic 45. Now, another technique that I'm showing you here is I am distressing the edges of the band that I'm working with, and then I'm coming in with some black soot distress crayon to darken up the edges. I didn't mat this band onto some black cardstock, so by adding the black soot distress crayon, I was still able to have a black outline against the cardstock to match the overall design. And as you can see, I did pop it up using some foam tape, and then I just simply trimmed off the edges. Now, as you recall, when we cut out these circles, you left big circles on some of the rectangular cardstock. But you don't want to toss that cardstock because you can easily mat a tag or another piece of the Graphic 45 over that paper. So even though you've cut a circle out of it and there's a big gaping hole in the middle of your paper, don't throw it away because you are still going to be able to use that. You can easily mat paper over, like I just said. You can add tags. You can add other embellishments to cover that, or you might even use it just as a circular frame. So don't throw away the paper because you never know when you can come back and use those scraps again. After I had added my circles, I decided the card still looked a little bit plain, so I decided to add a sheer ribbon. Whenever I do add ribbons, I always go with sheer because they tie so nice and you can easily adjust your bows. If I want to have different designs, I typically will work with washi tape rather than ribbon, and then again, when I'm going for an actual bow, I'll pull out the sheer ribbons. I think you're going to find that it's going to be a lot easier to work with when you are creating cards by going with the sheer rather than the actual more stiff ribbon. And then to finish off the card, I added a greeting that read "Warm Greetings," and I also added some clear Nuvo drops. So this completes the 8th video and my 8th card and my 12 months of Graphic 45. I hope that you've been enjoying the series, and if you've missed any of the month, be sure to go back and check out the playlist. So as always, I will leave a list of all the products that I've used to create this card, along with the links to the stores. If you've enjoyed the video, I would certainly appreciate a thumbs up, and feel free to leave me a comment. I always love reading your feedback. So that completes the 8th card in my 12 months of Graphic 45 series. We have 4 more months left, and that means 4 more videos. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you're notified when the next video comes out. Alright everyone, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you again next time.